What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Courtside Convo. Today is the injury report / waiver wire pickups for Week 17. And this week, interesting week. Some players have one game, some players have 3 games, but the max is 3 because we are entering All-Star break where, once Thursday's done, there's no more games. The games are done, and it's going to be just a week of nothing for at least fantasy-wise, maybe not All-Star-wise. But for us, when it comes to All-Star, this is upset week in my opinion. If there's some people that in your league, some of the players are out, you pick them up, maybe they score some really high points, and their players don't perform for the 1 or 2 games they might have, or 3 if you're lucky, it can be bad for some people. I don't think that any upsets maybe will happen in my leagues, but I do think that there could be some close games that we could be looking at. I'm very excited for this week, but to be honest, injury report wise, waiver wire pickup wise, there's only a couple of teams on here because I didn't want to yap about Zach LaVine. I didn't want to yap about Joel Embiid that I have in previous weeks. There's another person I think, or if people are probable for games, I didn't really want to add them to the injury report because they're probable. If there's some superstar that gets ruled out, I'll make a short about it. I'll post it immediately when I can and say, hey, if this player's out, pick up these players. But yeah, I quickly am going to talk about these teams, kind of give some updates on some players. But yeah, a lot of them is just, and if you want to see the past people I've said to pick up and everything, go check out previous videos where it explains the pickups and stuff, where I feel like I've hit almost these. I have some hair on this mic. I need to let roar this. And if you don't want to, well then, sadly you will not be seeing them, I guess. But please go check them out if you can. But yeah, let's get started with the Houston Rockets, which debated on making a Houston Rockets short the other day, but I was like, I don't think it makes sense right now because Albert Sengun was ruled out, and I was like, do I make a short? I didn't. Kind of regret not doing it, but potentially will this week with Houston Rockets. They have had a lot of injuries on their team. Cam Whitmore being injured, especially in not on the Hawks game, but the game before that, where Sengun wasn't injured, the Raptors game. But Fred VanVleet being out and supposedly going to be out for the next 4 games, they said. So this game technically is included. Could be out potentially for the Memphis Pelicans game. We'll see if he comes back right before All-Star break. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. But exclamation marks mean they're already ruled out. Question marks mean they're questionable. Albert Sengun, and this is not even this is an exact quote from Sleeper and from the injury report. Albert Sengun is iffy. He's iffy. So I'm guessing questionable. I don't think that against the New York Knicks, there's maybe a chance they do just rest Sengun another chance just in case for his back. But I do think that there is a possibility of him playing, which of course would kind of take away from the fantasy. If all of these players are out, based on what other players have played, I have 2 ads that I think could be pretty decent. I'm gonna start giving their Yahoo and ESPN numbers. I'm gonna try and do 50% and less, because if there's some people that are like 60 or 70, I feel like it doesn't make sense to add them, because mostly they'll be rostered. But potential ads, Amen Thompson is number 1 on that list. Granted, he's a rookie. Granted, against, some other high-end teams, maybe it's not as good. But I think with him being a rookie, with how he plays 9-cat league, maybe, points league even, just how he's done with the stat sheet. Games, which I don't have his stats next to me. He has been crazy with the rebounding numbers, with points numbers. There's been some good assists. He knows how to get his stocks. And the other game, he had 60% from the field, not too bad. There was another game where it was a little worse, I'm pretty sure. And then some turnovers just here and there, but that's going to happen for a rookie. But the reason why I say 1 good is a rookie, when you got the Knicks, and not even the Memphis or Pelicans, this is straight up just the Knicks game. they would be blown out, which I don't know if that would happen. Don't know if that would happen because of the Knicks potentially, being a little injury-prone team, not included in today's list because I didn't want to yap about Julius Randle and all them like I have before. Go check out the other videos. I do think that this is going to be fine, and that with the rookie, like I was trying to say before, I don't know why I just stopped. With the rookie, I do think that if they would be blown out, Ben Thompson could still play. But does that happen with the injury-prone Knicks? Probably not. Memphis could play again there because if it's a blown out game, I think they'll still play Ben Thompson to get those reps. Pelicans, it's the same thing. Dylan Brooks, on the other hand, is somebody that I am putting here just in case if it is a deeper league. Am I saying Dylan Brooks will be such a great player? I do not think that at all. Do I think Dylan Brooks could be helpful if you're in a deeper league and you absolutely need somebody if all these players are ruled out? I do think so, because right now Jabari Smith has a high roster rate. Jalen Green, of course. Any of those players that that are usually starters that would be there, they're going to be high roster rate, except for Dylan Brooks. And I think Dylan Brooks could be somebody that could get you good points, could get you maybe some good steals, could be somebody that just gets you some good something there. Don't think there's a good assist rate. Dylan Brooks is just somebody that in a points league I would get. I probably would look away when it comes to 9-cat stuff. And Ben Thompson, I would look more at 9-cap maybe other than points leagues too. But I think a points league too would still be nice. It'll be very interesting to see. But I do think that if Sengun is out, we're going to be looking at a lot of these for them. Up next, the Memphis Grizzlies. I almost didn't want to talk about them, but there's some points I want to talk about with the Grizzlies. With Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart looking like they'll come back for the All-Star break, which means next week we'll talk about them. There's 2 games this week. I think some potential adds that, a lot of people have already added, as you can see with the 66% for Vince Williams Jr. But I do want to talk about there is a chance that Brandon Clark comes back before the end of the All-Star break, which would be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Does that happen? Does that not? I don't know. I think they should wait till maybe after the All-Star break for just so that they can have more players come in after the All-Star break. We'll have to see. But Vince Williams Jr., Santi Aldama, I think that these are definitely great ads that could help out with the team. Vince Williams Jr. has been elite. It is crazy. If you got him on a steal, he has been elite as a pickup. He is somebody that can easily score. He can be somebody that rebounds, and he's been someone that was very, very close to a triple-double the other day. 9-cat leagues, I'd be picking him up. Especially with the fact that he plays the forward and Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing the center right now. Even when Jaren Jackson Jr. is out, he's doing even better. And he's probably going to do this decent well when some of these guards do come back. I would just worry with Brandon Clark because they trade away all their centers. Xavier Tillman, Steven Adams, which on Friday I'm planning to have talking about does the trade deadline help fantasy-wise. Go check it out. But it is going to be very interesting to see what happens. But Vince Williams Jr., one of those excellent players in my opinion that I think will be good for the days to come. Up next, we have the Miami Heat. Just some quick things with the Miami Heat. 2 games this week. Difficult games. Maybe not Philly as much anymore. But there's question marks. I didn't say question marks. I just realized on them. Question marks on 2 players for the Milwaukee game. Jimmy Butler was out due to personal reasons against the Celtics. And Terry Rozier hurt himself against the Celtics and was out for the remainder of the game. Do these 2 play? I think Jimmy's more closer to yes than maybe Terry Rozier. If Terry Rozier doesn't, then it'll be very interesting. I think, maybe. Why am I blanking out on his name? Martin. Martin will be a good pickup. I want to say Caleb Martin, but I feel for some reason part of me wants to say that's the one that's in the Hornets, but it's not. I don't know why I was hesitating myself to say that. Why did I hesitate? Terry Rozier, definitely somebody that I think could be out for a little bit. Jimmy Butler, I think, could just come back immediately for Milwaukee, but was out for personal reasons. But potential adds if Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier is out is Jaime Jaquez. I do think that he could be a great pickup that could score a lot. I think that he could get some rebounds, get some assists too, have a decent all-around game. Is it going to be an elite game that we're like, oh my god, this guy's the next Domantas Sabonis getting a triple-double? No, but is it somebody that's going to score the ball well, going to probably do it at least somewhat efficiently and going to be able to rebound and give a couple assists. I think so. And I think if the Jimmy Butler and Rozier is fully out, then we're looking like that could 100% happen. Up next, we have the Portland Trailblazers, and I want to say this is the last. Which, a little faster than normally what it would be. Portland Trailblazers games versus Minnesota and versus Minnesota. That is not a typo. They are going against Minnesota Tuesday and Thursday at home. So, interesting. But I want to talk about their injury report. Scoot Henderson questionable. Anthony Simons questionable. Duop Reith questionable. Malcolm Brogdon's out. Shannon Sharp is out. And Malcolm Brogdon's out for 2 weeks. Shannon Sharp is out till April. Probably going to be out for the rest of the season. I would not be shocked once it comes April. But let's say that all of these players are out. Somebody in the guard position is going to have to get a huge step up and going to have to play well. Off the top of my head, I want to say they'll probably have that two-way guy that they've been playing, that they played against the Pistons. I don't even remember his name. It starts with an H at the end of his name. I would say maybe him. I would maybe, if you're looking at the forward position, Jabari Walker is the biggest player that pops out for me. 13% on Yahoo, 1% on ESPN. Because other than him, power forward wise, you got Kamara, DeAndre Ayton, and that's really it when it comes to the kind of forward center position. Because I think Jabari Walker will be nice. Oh, Jeremy Grant, of course. But it's very interesting because guard position wise, if there is somebody that is projected a lot, if there is somebody that is a guard after these two, who am I forgetting right now? Because Brogdon, Shadon Sharp, Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson. Who did they just have? I swear I just saw somebody that's a guard for them. I'm gonna cry. I'm actually gonna cry at the fact that I forgot about this. Pick him up immediately. I think that is somebody that against these teams, against blowout potential teams, which I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I'm saying that when it's like the team that's like tied or very close to the number one seed, twice. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that we should look at tank watch for them. I would pick him up, and I think it would be a great pickup that would be excellent for a team. But Jabari Walker would be my first essential pickup if all these players are out. Up next, we are done, actually. I almost said up next. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want some more content on me, look at Lesser Athletes. Recently did a stream there. Recently, we've been doing a podcast on there about just the, whole scheme of the NBA. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.